morning, everybody. It's Monday Makes with Mariah. I have to read it over there every time.
Oh, I have to go there. Whoops.
My assistant is
falling down on.
She woke up like 10 minutes. No, 30 minutes ago. She's still waking up, technically. I don't know what's going on. I slept on my hair, and it went a little hot mess crazy, and I definitely think some weird things are happening back here, but, you know, whatevers. I don't know. And it's doing weird.
Don't look at it.
Yeah, it's doing weird little swoopy things over here, and, like, she cut it, so I did get it cut, but then, see, that calic thing, just, people don't always mind the calic.
One of the nice things about not having to look at yourself is I don't worry about that stuff.
Yeah, I hear you.
She asked me if I was going to cut my hair, and I said, I don't think I'm going to have time.
So she's just going to go poofy. Well, good morning, everyone. Please do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. If you want to hang out in the background, that's totally fine. Saw that Darcy's going to hang out in the background there. This one's going to turn off the sound any minute.
Maxine said she just crawled out of bed.
Will you turn your sound off?
Oh, sure. Let me think.
So I'm sure you guys are really enjoying that echo. I don't think it was terribly loud, but it probably was still.
I knew there was something going on. Didn't know what exactly it was. I haven't had enough coffee yet.
Yeah.
That's one of my concerns.
Yeah, well, I made it for you. All right, yes, do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. No worries on hanging out in the background. Darcy's going to be cleaning. That's what she said.
She's going to be cleaning?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
while
you'll
watching
be sorry.
This one. Anyways, let's see. Let's get started. Today, my plan was to kind of show you, recreate the Maker's Creative Collab. Little foldy, flippy, pop-up magnet card. Unfortunately, so my magnets delivered, but then, I think that they stayed in the box that went to the trash. So I ordered more, because I didn't feel like that was their fault. Because it was not confirmed that, you know.
Oh.
But I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Because everything else that they said delivered did. And we didn't check the box. So I just went and ordered some more. But they're not going to be here in time. So we'll just I'll just say, hey, you need to put a magnet here.
And here.
And here. Yeah. Because I don't think that I have any more. I could kind of dig underneath here and... Who knows, I could surprise myself and have a little stash of them. My baby likes to take off with them.
She loves putting them together and taking them apart.
And then I hide them. But I really do think that we've used them all. Yeah, and I dug every one off of the little thingy there. But anyway, I think that'll be fun. And then if we have some time left over, we'll play around in my Akiko book. So, I'll go topside.
Oh, is this going to be
your
process?
I want to say hello to everybody. Let me say hello to everybody. See, she got me messed up there.
Okay, well, you didn't even do PM Artist Studio.
PM Artist Studio. I'm Mariah. This is P over here. She's only, you know, in voice on Mondays.
Yeah, no head.
No body. Because she doesn't like to get pretty. She likes to just roll out of bed and, you know, help me and...
Yeah, and sort of kind of read the chat.
Yeah, and sort of help with the chat. So, yeah, do say hello in the chat or, you know, chat something and then you'll show up in the little thingy. But we've got Art Curious by MNW. That's Miriam, Barbara, Becky, Belinda, Christy, Colleen, Darcy, Dana, Eddie, Estella, Griffin Shell. That's Rhonda, Jeanette, a.k.a. Janette, Candace LaFleur. Hello. Elia Retardo. Why do I not remember? I'm so sorry. I don't know why I have a block on that, because now you've been showing up here lately. I can't show y'all those things. I got some secret things over here. We've got Lexi, Lori, Maxine, Patricia, Ramona, Sherry, Silver Granny, that's Lynn, Star Travel, that's Linda, Susan Anderson, Susan Jensen, or Suzanne Jensen, sorry. Sherry, I believe, just popped in there. Or was that Ricky? Ricky.
I think it was Ricky.
Leanne. Isn't it Leanne? Is Leanne or...
Leanne.
See, look at that. I didn't look at chat. Didn't cheat. It just popped in my brain. Because my chat's still trying to load up here. There it goes. I don't know why there's such a delay on that.
Susan's lurking,
All
doing
right.
laundry.
No worries. I did that yesterday. Still have a little bit to do today. For whatever reason, laundry is just one of those things that's never actually done.
Oh, Sherry, she's here ready to create something.
All
Oh,
right.
I hope that this is
I'm going to go topside.
down your, yeah.
I am a
Eddie
little sad
says,
that
get it together.
Get
You
it
know, Eddie,
together.
my life is constantly a
Yeah.
challenge of getting it together. And I'm just, I'm just having these moments of, oh my God, I'm going to want something and I'm not going to have it.
I know. I moved to the big suitcase. I was like, all right, I'm going to get it in the little one. 3 outfits later, and I was like, no, that ain't going to happen. Because I want to bring my makeup.
Hey,
'Cause
I
may
had
need
no illusions. I said, give me the big one.
She did.
No, I'm not. I've already been there and done that, and I don't want to do that anymore.
Just stress yourself out. But I did order a new little makeup and toiletry bag. Because I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. I have like the little makeup bag, and then I have the toiletry thing. It wasn't big enough necessarily to hold the makeup, and really isn't meant for that.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about my lotions and potions.
I can give you one of those. I think that will work great for your stuff. One of the little red carrying casey things.
Yes, that I can put into my suitcase.
Yes.
Okie dokie.
Well, good. I'm glad we worked that out.
I'm certainly, and I'm still worried about the coffee. We're gonna.
And I forgot. I was going to order some because I had it queued up in Amazon, but I meant to show it to you. But at this point, I don't think it's going to arrive on time unless we could get it delivered today. We could look. You never know. But that does make me nervous. But I think we should just go to the store. Okay, so how we start out here. Now, y'all jump in and let me know if you have questions. But you may want to put it in all caps because...
Now, could I just ask a question here?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you use our Christmas cards?
I like these because they have the rounded edges. So see, one of the things is whenever you're creating a little, foldy booky thing, when you have the pointed, they push into each other more.
Oh.
So when they're rounded,
Oh.
and I knew that we were going to be adding gel prints on both sides. So it didn't need to be any fatter than it needed to be.
Yeah.
So that was one of the other reasons. And I have some extras. These are original ones.
Hi, Patricia.
So I still have some of these left.
And Candace. And Barbara. Did you say hello to those people? And
I think
Christy?
so. I think so.
Okay. Well,
Hello, Monica. I think Monica's.
I need to get down here where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the key things to do here. Now mine was already sort of constructed, and then I had to then deconstruct it to put the papers on because it was I just used my prototype, I guess.
Yeah.
The beta version.
You're not going to actually be covering anything beta. You're just going to be.
I don't
showing
know.
them
I
the
mean, we could.
structure.
I don't have magnets, so.
Well, then that's going to be a problem. You shouldn't do it because you're just be wasting paper.
All right, so then I'm just going to show you the construction and show you where you would want to add the magnets.
No need for superfluous thickness. Yes.
Perfect.
Excellent observation, Darcy.
That's funny. Okay, now one of the things to keep in mind, which was tricky with this little business here, whatever substrate that you are using, so these cards are coated on one side, and I was having a bit of a tricky go at getting these to really stick down. The best thing to do is actually just give them a good little coat of gesso.
Hey, but before I gessoed, I roughed them up with the sandpaper.
Correct.
Because that's slicky.
So if you're using any kind of packaging that has a coating on it, best to just give it a little rub with the sandpaper and a coat of gesso.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
dub.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Y'all know what I'm saying, so hear me.
Well, I think actually I didn't sandpaper that until after you had it about halfway together.
You only did this piece because I was like, well, hey, you're gonna.
No, I sandpapered the others that I gessoed.
Oh, this piece too, the little pop-up part. But you didn't have any.
Mm-hmm.
No, because you
didn't?
didn't do any of this part. I'd already had it covered.
You glued it
Yeah.
glued it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, now this is something to keep in mind. If your stuff is thick, you're going to want to leave a little bit more of a gap for your hinging. That is also one of the reasons I didn't really want to use the big fat postcard things, because then I was going to have to adjust for that a little bit more, and then it's a little harder to line up. With these, I didn't really have to leave anything. I pretty much just kind of lined them up together like so. I think I did use a ruler. I know, shocker.
Eddie's on a roll today.
I was just feeling feisty this morning.
He's feeling feisty. He says, don't want the thicknesses rubbing together, could cause a fire.
Yes. Okay. If lining up is very important to you, then like you could even tape them down and whatnot. It's not that big of a deal.
They're giving it back.
I just used the washi, you know, the no sticky but sort of sticky stuff. That's all we need there. Boom shakalaka. On this one, I did not. I only put the tape on the inside. To see how it needs to expand. That is important.
Expansion and contraction are important aspects of most construction.
Mucho importante. So the hinge goes on the interior.
Cornstarch, Miriam. Hey, here's what I used to say. You don't put flour in a diesel engine. I need oil. Got that, Eddie?
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so now this is something that kind of took me a minute to like work out in my brain. This is not centered up. That might bother some people.
Yeah, math people look away.
Yeah. That doesn't matter to me so much. But depending on where you want it and how you want it to, you know, because you want it to be concealed. So, say you wanted it closer to the center of the two, you know, you can slide it over and it could even be taller if that's the case. So we'll just kind of give that a little test here. Now the thing is, you don't want it right on.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't want it right on the fold. It's got to be a little bit off from the fold. Yeah.
Yes, because you don't want to cause some constrictions.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I'm actually being way more technical about this one than I am the first one, because the first one I was like, well, I just got to try some things. Like, that's how my brain works. Like, I have to do the thing. That's how I learned how to do most of the graphic design work that I know how to do.
Kinetic learning.
Yeah.
Most small children have to do well with that.
Okay. Well, this adult person does well with that.
I do also. I'm a visual. And especially if you're talking about three-dimensional stuff.
Okay. So, now the thing is that if you want the little thingy, this hootie-doo, see, when I glued it back down, I actually glued it a little further in than it needs to be. So it's pretty tight on there. If you let it hang out just ever so slightly, you get a better flip.
Well, of course you do, because you have less constriction.
Yeah. So you want it to hang over ever so slightly if you want that to come and do its double
And I would
duty.
say, you know, use some tape that's like for real, or glue that baby down with some, because that's going to get a lot of working out there. You know, you're going to
It
be
does.
flipping it back and forth.
But so far, mine's held up pretty well. I don't know. You know, it just depends on how much you plan on working yours.
Did you say hello to Chris? She's been lurking.
Hello, Chris.
And Janice Marie.
Hello, Janice Marie.
And Linda.
Lindsay.
Oh,
Hello,
Lindsay.
I believe Lindsay's
Sorry.
new. Okay.
She's from Scotland.
Let's see. Okay. Ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo. Now, if you were going to cover things, this is the point where you would want to go ahead and get the base covered. Here are some things to also consider. How much paper you have of the particular paper you want in the background, because you're going to want extra for this flap here if you want it to line up inside of there.
Okay, can I just interject something here?
Sure.
It's like when you get those bags of mulch and you think you have enough.
Mm-hmm.
Get
Times 2.
Get 5 more.
I say double it. That's it every time. Brad's like, how many bags we get? I said, I don't know how many you think. He says 10. I said, get 20.
And then you have to go back and still get 5
5 more.
You know?
Really
It's just, the paper is, you need twice as much as you think you need.
Yeah, I mean, I barely covered the seat because it did this, and it was just a little 5x7-ish sheet. It was a little half sheet thing. But I some of this is pieced in to get the bottom of the circle along with the area there.
And if you want to match patterns, it's kind of like making a dress or a whatever. You need twice as much as you think you do.
Yeah, and so this one was kind of funny too, because I was like, so if you are particular, notice that over here, see that's darker, and it gets a little lighter. So I tried to be considerate of that. But I wasn't gonna, I didn't have enough to take a piece out of the center here to make, my little circle. It was kind of like, all right, I had a piece up here left over. So this was going to be the darker piece. And this was going to be the piece that I had a bit more left over
So it
here.
should have been a 9x12 sheet, and that would have helped you out a lot.
It would have definitely given me more to work with, yes. That would have, because I still had some left over, but again, where you want it to match up is extremely important if you have color variation or pattern or anything of that nature. If it's all kind of solid color or it's a really busy small pattern, probably not as big of a deal. But if you have a gradient of color and you want it to be consistent,
Yes.
things to be, thinking about.
And cognizant.
Yeah. And that is also one of the reasons, because I actually was going to use the stars over here too, but then it was kind of like, wow, that is a lot, and I don't know that it's necessary. And we really liked that whole kind of wink and a nod to the moonscape, the surface of the moon being under there. But this is also one of the points to where you want to, depending on where you want magnets. Now see, my magnet for the sun is on the back side inside the pocket area. What I was originally going to do is have it on the outer part here. So again, things to think about. Where do you want your final elements to be? You need to think about that right now when you're covering the outside or, both sides.
Yeah. The magnet situation makes planning a little more.
Yes, tricky. Now, here's the other thing. You can always go back and piece in something. But once again, think about your colors. What pieces of paper do you have left over?
Available.
Because they do kind of show up. This one's really great because I was able, because we added the pocket to the back side, to be able to hide it within, right inside of there. See what I'm saying?
And I think that this is a good thing for just generally making something that has pockets.
Yes. It's a good place to hide something if you need to, do that. Okay, so magnet, what am I thinking about? I sort of lost where I was. Oh, okay. Another thing with the magnets. They connect in a certain direction.
Carrie and Maya are here.
Okay. Because they do connect in a certain direction, and especially if you have elements that are important that you want them in a certain direction.
And I guarantee you're going to put the magnets down the wrong way sometime.
Best to, and I really wish I had some damn magnets to show y'all this. I feel terrible.
Now see, if it had been me, that box would still be here.
Yeah.
Sitting over there, and I could go, oh, well, let's check that box out. But, you know, miss clean it up.
Okay, here's the way you do it, and I will show you with, I need just
yes, Susan, I like that snap sound. Oh.
Yes, I need an example to show. Can you just cut me out some little circles of some sort? They don't even have to be full on, you know, actual circle. Oh, you know what I can do? I can do this. Okay. Hold on, guys. I just got an idea.
And I'm bringing a very small set of colored pencils. and my pencil sharpener and my carry-on. I don't think they'll take that away from me.
So, I've got pop dots. We're going to do it with pop dots. Because this kind of helps with my explanation of these sorts of things. Alright, so.
Very good. I like that so that you can see them.
Yeah. Alright, so pop dots are nice because they're sticky on both sides. One of the ways that you can make sure your magnets go in order and stick to in the direction that you want them to is that you will want to put a little piece of tape, double-sided tape, on the one side that's going to stick down. Okay? So then you have it to where it sticks. Then your next magnet, a lot of times what I'll do, and I'm just going to use this kind of as an example. Alright, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to line up where the little foldy piece is going to be, right? So, for one, I have the one piece that, oh, actually, again, rounded corners. Mucho importante. We want this to just ever so slightly come out again, so we have our little flippy piece there. Are y'all enjoying this? I feel like it's very complicated. You know, lie to me. It's okay. I'm okay with that.
She is. Really, she is.
Okay. Again, just depends on, like, if you are particular about where it is, line it up, measure, put marks, this, that, the other. I am not that worried about it. But I don't want that to go out that much. So I gotta watch my tape here. It's one reason I like using the washi. Is it, especially with these cards that have the coating.
Now, at some point, do you glue that down?
I do. This is strictly, I am showing you guys positioning.
Okay. So, what you're doing right now that with that washi tape, before you covered it, you would go ahead and glue it down.
Okay, so on the final one, I definitely came back in, put glue, and then covered the washi in those areas, see? And again, only on the one side. I didn't put washi on the other. You only hinge one side because it's got to be able to move.
Oh, I lost my...
All right, thanks. Thanks, Lindsay. Okay. So now we've got our little flippy thing here. We know where its position is going to be. We know that we're going to have a magnet here because, you know, we've got our little elements that are going to be there. If in this case I didn't want it to, if I want it to be hidden, you can still just put your magnet here and temporarily just put the double stick tape there. But once again, for positioning, and how it's going to be is that now on the back side, the red, we're going to go with, you know, whatever direction of the magnet is, will then stick, doop, click, on that side. Now I know the position and that's where I want it to be. Now I can go, all right, I want that magnet to be there. I'm going to cover this side. We're good to go. And then that will set the precedent of, okay, the magnets are going to go in this direction, and I want them to stack, you know, like this.
Okay, and now I believe you do have these listed on your preferred materials.
Yes,
in
actually,
the
and I'll give you guys the link. I think the one that I have on our commonly used stuff
Yeah,
are the
because there
small.
are two. Hi, Trish.
Let me get that for you. I'll show you the ones that they came back. I wasn't able to get them a couple of times ago. But it's actually the larger, thinner ones, which I like a lot more. There's more connection space. I mean, they are bigger. These are the smaller ones, but they're thicker, and so they show up a bit more. It's kind of, you know, one of those things. All right. Especially since I've ordered them twice, they're right here at the top.
Imagine that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it really is key to make sure that, you know, as you are doing this, that your magnets are going in the right direction. Because let me tell you, the reason I know this is like, it keeps pushing the magnet off because it didn't put it right. Now you got to take it apart and flip it over. Okay. So, we're just going to keep these here as our little, you know, indicators. Our red always means, you know, it's going in that direction. Okity dokity.
Okity dokity.
Ah, see? It's crappy ass washi. I might just glue that down for our demonstration so it doesn't keep popping off. Okay. Should I do that? I'm just going to glue this one down.
Hey, it doesn't hurt my feelings.
Since this is my demo. Because that tape ain't sticking.
Well, especially that slicky stuff.
Oh, no.
I mean, now, come on, sugar.
Come on now, sugar. Oh, look at that. I think I even lined up the stripes. How about that, Carrie? I didn't even mean to. That's how good I am.
Oh, look at that.
That's funny. I make myself laugh. Okay. Now, let me show you how I decided the size of this circle right here. Because, again, I was just testing things out. For this, you really are going to need full-on 3 cards. Unless you want to make one little tiny circle, then you really... Or, sorry, 4 cards. If you want to make a little tiny circle, then you could even just use our little faces and cut them out. You know, if you guys are saving your little cards, here, we'll do that because that's kind of funny. Before, what I used was my cup. And I drew, see, this is exactly this size. You know, Sharpie edge-wise. See? That's what I did because that's what I had. But right now, we're going to use our little faces and make it smaller. Any questions? No, you want to give at least 5 fingers width between the magnet and the edge of the paper for strength and ease of covering.
Who said that?
Yes.
Oh, between the edge. Yeah, that's a good rule.
I had to think about what you were...
That's a good rule of thumb.
Rule of finger. That's funny. I would, yes. Now, I would say that a lot of times I don't always subscribe to that. because I'll tell you that
Situational demands.
I don't know if this one is, but see, this one was done afterwards.
Eddie says just one finger, not 5.
Yeah, so this one was done, I don't know if you guys can see the little tiny edge there of the paper. See there, it's kind of lifting up. So that wasn't quite a finger's length. Tissue is more forgiving. That's one of the reasons I wanted her to do this. Well, partially because I didn't want it to be, you know, so thick that this thing, again, I was going to have problems with things flipping. But, the tissue, because you can rub it around and it kind of stretches, especially with the acrylic paint. And sits right nicely. And then this one really didn't bother me that you could see it because it did match up so well to the little moon divot thingies. You know.
Size matters.
Size always matters.
And Miriam is asking about why the delay. It just happens, Miriam. It drives me absolutely crazy. Well,
It depends on
and I don't know. I guess I was just didn't re-click that. If I don't move around on I have an old slow Mac Pro. I mean, you know.
that more or less has to do with your internet, like how you are receiving than anything, I believe. And perhaps how YouTube is pushing it out.
And those small magnets don't work well under thick gel prints.
That is correct.
Absolutely. This is
Tissue paper is really ideal.
It is. And not horribly many layers of paint on the tissue paper.
Now here's something else. So if you're using something like this, you know, packaging, anything that's going to have a print or some things that are going to show through, no problemo here, because this was dark as dark could be. It had many, many layers. Nothing was shining through on this. This, on the other hand, is one of the reasons she had to gesso it, because I was like, this had maybe just a couple, and they were all pretty light layers. Stuff was showing through. So, keep that in mind, especially about like the type of substrate you're using. Prep it. We're not following through with that right now. Okay, so what's gonna happen here? I gotta remember my next little, you know, process. So to create the little hingey business, where was my one piece? Oh, see, now I used my one piece. Did I just check that without even thinking about it? Oh, no, I didn't. Look. Just getting snarly on me. So for this one, see, I did use the little piece there. But if you use a little circle from that, so once again, you're back at, you're going to need 4. You're going to need 4 of these. You better have placed 4 orders. And saved your cards if you want to make this exact thing. Word. Okay, so let's see here. Now, one of the things also to consider here is, you know, how it took me a while to get how straight up did I want it, how erect. And if it mattered that it wasn't, it matters. Just saying. So that's why I ended up
sand the substrate. Yes, we did, Maxine. We sanded. And it's not a big deal if you're not painting or putting a light colored tissue on, because Mariah didn't on the big pieces because she knew she was just going to glue down to them.
Yeah.
But I would say a little swift rub of sandpaper is not going to hurt anything ever.
Right. So I'm thinking about this. Alright, so I don't need the full piece, but I'm going to go ahead and cut.
You know, I am sure that they have different size magnets.
Oh yeah, they do.
If you want
yeah, they have tons.
Bigger ones for, you know, more.
The trick is trying to find the thinnest ones that still work worth darn and don't fall apart. Because remember, those ones that I ordered now might be some of those ones that if you aren't careful, you can snap them.
Oh.
But I like the thinness of them. So, you know. Alright.
Flashcards, I think, would be a very good choice. carry as far as the weight of the paper,
Yeah.
the thickness of the paper.
Okay. So this is a key point where you want to say, all right, well, I need it to bend at some point to make the connection, you see? It has to make that connection to hold it up. But I didn't, at first I was like, oh, well, I want it to go all the way down and like that, but it really actually has a better hold if it has it lifted ever so slightly at a slant like that. And I'm like, well, that doesn't bother me. I ain't mad at that. Especially if it functions the way that I want. So, again, you want enough little space there to put your magnet down. And what I did is just kind of that, because I was like, all right, well, again, I was just playing with it, so it wasn't like it had to be spot on or anything. And actually, I ended up adjusting this based on the whole little knowing that it needed to kind of have a nice bend to it whenever, and the more, what is it? It's not really resistance, it's the pull. Because you want to create a nice, I want to say it's more like a tensile strength or something like that, for more technical term. But anyway, so this is, I like this. I want it to, you know, we're going to need it to kind of magnet over. See how that one magnet and smack down. But I gotta think about this. So, because this was tricky, this part. Thinking that I wanted it both to, you know, it has to hook in over here, but then line up nicely over here. Because right now what's going to happen is, yes, I have it where I want it, but now this thing's going to stick out like that. Well, I don't want that.
This is very complicated. This is why I don't do stuff like this.
Okay. So, if that's the case, we want it to, alright, my little magnet-y thing needs to stay there. I want this to basically be in there. So hold on here. Alright, chop that off. Ba-boom, ba-doo, ba-doo. So this can swing back and forth. Yes? But then my fold has to go differently. Okay, so now we know that. Hopefully you guys are still following me here.
I think that they are.
Okay.
Hi, Betsy. Susan, I think I've already said hello to you.
Uh-huh. I know. And this is how I felt when I was watching Pop-Up making things, because I was like...
It all seemed so simple before you explained it.
Yeah. Yes, indeedy, indeedy. Okay, well, so I didn't get it spot on there, but that's okay. Oh, and see, my other magnet on the back side is sticking. So I'm going to trim that, because I really want this one to line up. And it doesn't have the mechanism that this thing's going to have. So, all right. Boop-de-doop, boop, boop, boop. Boop. This is going to have a little bend in it. It needs to bend this direction. And still be able to hold your magnet. Obviously, you just want to bend it as much as it'll hold the magnet. Since our little magnets are tiny.
You could always measure, but that's not what we do here.
No.
And, you know,
my brain does not work that way. We'd be here for, 2 weeks.
Yeah, number one, we'd have to find a ruler. That could be a bit of a daunting task here. The only reason I have a ruler is so I can tear a straight edge. I don't use it for the numbers.
Okay, once again, so what's going to happen is if these are our magnets, basically the red side would be going down. See, because it would go like, let me color this so you guys following through here with my example. So if these were to stick together, because see, red to red would be pushing away.
Yeah, Izzy loves to do that. She chases them around on the top of the
It would go really like this. We're gonna actually what I want to do is just see. Boop. And our little fold is, I can see, well, tell me this darn.
Silver Granny, is that Lynn?
Mm-hmm.
This measuring is for wimps. No, it's a whole different mindset.
It is.
And one of the reasons that I love watching Carrie is because I get clued into how other people are thinking, because some of the things he does never cross my mind.
Yeah.
That's just how differently we all think and approach things.
Mm-hmm.
And Carrie could give you numbers on this by the time he got through.
Yeah.
I mean, he really honestly could. And if that's, you know, I'm not denigrating. I'm just saying it's different. And different isn't necessarily bad. It's just that's the way the world works. I want you guys to think
that that's red. That is not red, because that's
Measure
white.
thrice, cut nice, and
Yeah.
only once.
And this darn tape. Okay. So it will strengthen up. Once you put your papers over it, your little thing is going to strengthen up. Now we've lined it up. It's right there on the fold. Either way, we're good to go. We're lining up. We're happy. Doop, doop, doop. Now, once you have this one in place, you can set. All right. Well, this one's a lot taller than that last one. Okay, that's fine. Still getting the job done. So the red side is down. So
yes, Carrie, I think your mind is wired just right.
Exactly. I love your beautiful mind.
We need all kinds of people in this world, and we need each other to make us aware that our vision is not necessarily the only one out there. I think that's as important as anything.
Hey, the only reason this had to become this way is because my poor little mind could not get where that pop-up business was. I wanted to. Okay, so remember, this is white this side, it's red on the back side, so red to red is not going to happen. This one's going to be, whoop, like that. Look at me go. So excited that I'm actually keyed in on that. Now, you don't have to glue one to both sides. Sometimes it's kind of nice if you need that extra snap. You can put one to both sides. But really, this is about, figuring out where this one's going to go. Perfect. Okay. And what I would have done if it was really a magnet is on that other side, put a double-sided piece of tape. And then that way it stays. And it's so nice that it gives me that little red dot. Also not a bad idea. What you could do on the magnet is put
there you go.
A little mark making thing. That way I know that that goes there. Red's on the other side. I'm going to put a piece of paper because it's already a little bit sticky. Right there. Right there.
Brad is a number person too. And it's so funny because Mariah and I will look at each other and we'll go, do we want to get Brad involved?
Do we want to get Brad involved?
It's only if there's electronic equipment,
things.
saws, things that have plug-ins that go in the wall that we usually get him involved, because he will take it to a whole new level.
Yeah, he will.
And
we're like, God, we really just wanted to get this done.
I just wanted to pound a damn nail in the wall.
Now we're going to be here all day.
So there are things to be said for,
yes.
If I'm building a house, I want somebody like Brad. Mine would look like one of those drawing people do that the house is leaning, and the people that did the Leaning Tower of Pisa, those are my people.
So you guys got this? Basically, we now have our magnet here, and it can be on either side or both sides. Again, if you double up the magnets, it will be stronger. Same thing here. You could even put double magnets. It adds to the weight of the thing, but if they are the thin ones, that may not necessarily matter. We've got our lineup of over here. This is going to, stick. Actually, I'm going to take the whole thingy off there because it's kind of nice to show that, click, stick. Looky there.
All right. Woohoo. Oh, you got something sliding around. Fell off.
It was just one of the pop dot sticker thing.
Anthony joined us. Hey, Anthony, did people send you wood? I'll remind him again. Have any leftover wood?
Okay, now, final piece to think about. This one right here, the main thing there, so we've got this clicking down and clicking and sticking. Boom, boom, boom. that little wobbly business there is making me just
Okay,
angry.
I have to tell this story because
Okay.
it's wonderful. Because Griffin Shale, I don't know who that is.
That's Rhonda.
Rhonda, okay. So Mariah's father was a mathematician. When you ask him what time it is, he explained to you how a clock was built. So we were careful about what we asked him also.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Oh, we want our little faces to be upright. No, wait, look at that. We'll do that.
Oh, look at that. That is just so cute.
Okay, once again, just eyeballing things.
Oh, and somebody wants Carrie to do a video on making fairy houses.
Now, I think I did only put the tape on the one side, but see now, we've got our little hinge.
Oh, somebody is sending him Osage orange.
And because I did leave the nice little lip there, it
I
just
see
folds
that,
over
yeah.
beautifully. Now you're going to have that part that sticks out. Now, if you don't want that feature to where it flips and clicks, you know, flips around on
Then
both
you're not
sides,
gonna have
you
that.
can line that up. And then no worries. Just know that it's going to stick out like that versus being able to come over and do the thing that like I have here. Now this one's really tight. It worked really well. I had some accommodated for some of it, but after adding all the papers and everything in there, it just isn't quite reaches over it. But
Hello, Carla from Myrtle Beach.
so there you go. That's the flippy clicky thing. And then again, just with the magnet for here, before you cover this, line your thing up. Now, it was tricky with the moon because I didn't want the magnet to show. So the magnet is behind here in the thicker part. You can see it here on the yogurt lid part.
And that's pretty, you know, that yogurt lid is obviously metal.
But it's not, it's aluminum.
It's aluminum, it's not, yeah.
So it doesn't add to its metal properties of being magnetic.
And see, Susan Anderson does a lot of those things with Velcro.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, anything that's going to stick and, you know, stay in place and connect to one another. And at least with Velcro, you don't have to remember, you know, which way it's going. As far as, I mean, you know if it's the grabby side or the this or that side. Magnets are a little harder. They don't tell you until, you know, you got it glued down and it's not going the right way. So that's the little card. And I added a pocket thing on this side. You know, that was the other piece. So, you know, if you have 5 of these, then you could add a pocket there, hide that magnet in there, and have stuff that comes out. Hey, I did that in under an hour.
Okay, let me just say this. It took a lot longer for its original inception. But that's one of the reasons that you do things more than once.
Okay. Well, shall we just move on into working in the Akiko book? You guys have any questions or want me to show you any other parts, or do you want to see something up close before I put this here project down in the books as Dunsies and process video done?
Thank you, Mariah. Bravo, well explained, Mariah.
Okay.
Floppy what, Darcy? Oh, Eddie, we're going to send you to the corner and put the hat on. Your head. The one that has hair. Awesome, ma'am. Can't wait to get into the room again. After the move, it's
Okay.
all set up. Oh, yay! So exciting setting up your studio.
Maybe
That's
when
what I feel like I'm doing here when I'm, you know, taking all my stuff to go
goodness.
someplace.
Okay.
Their words tell Apple.
Hey, and I'm working on the fly there. I was really sad about not having the dag-nabbit magnets, but I think I, you know,
Hey,
came
you
through.
modified your plan. Great job. says JNet.
And I kind of like the idea of the little red dot thing, because that...
Darcy says autocorrect got in my way of words. I know words are hard.
And autocorrect does not help.
And autocorrect is having some struggle with it also, I say. I love the explanation examples. My brain has a hard time figuring the process without visual support. That is absolutely true.
And here's the thing. Just play around with it.
Yeah. You know.
And the nice thing about, like, with the washi tape, don't glue it down until you're really for sure.
I used to have that sign up in my classroom. Make it work.
Just don't glue it down.
I didn't realize that somebody said that. Tim Gunn. Are you just making that stuff up, Eddie? How you know that?
How you know that? All right. Oh, I see. We need to... Oh, you know what we were going to do? Do you want to do your book? You want to do the edge thing?
No,
okay.
I want to do it later. I'm not prepared.
Okay.
In fact, I'm waffling. Nope, I'm with facts, Pete. Well, we'll just pretend like that's the way it works,
right.
Eddie, for now.
Hey, we did get some Fabri-Tac.
Yes, we did. Because I think that's the way that we're going to make that work.
I went to the Walmart.
I really hate that place.
Well, I just thought it was
Tim
ridiculous.
Gunn is one of many superb people who have said, make it work. There you go. I don't even know who Tim G is.
Yeah,
I'll have to look him up.
I've been showing...
But I can't because I'm using my computer to keep up with the chat.
Oh, look at you using one of the tins and everything. Very good.
Yeah, and Izzy's hair thing.
I've noticed that you really like using those. She had one around the...
I'm taking my pliers.
She had one around the camera.
Do you think they'll take my pliers away at the airport?
No, because you're going to check your luggage.
Well, see, I could use those as torturing devices to make them take the plane where I wanted it to go.
But it's going to be down in the cargo bay, so you're good.
Oh, well, I was going to take it in my carry-on.
No, I don't think you should do that.
Oh. But it's going to add to weight. These are weighty little boogers.
So put some of your necklaces in your backpack and...
I've been very, very sparing with my necklaces.
Okay.
Designer cloth and presentier.
I have been, I've been posting the Instagrams, the reels. God, I sound old when I say things like that. You know, the Instagram.
Oh, this video is evidence.
I'm going to smack you. Alright, what are we going to do today?
I don't know.
Do we just want to find another kind of full page just to collage on? I think we should kind of do the detailed things sort of later.
Well,
maybe this. This looks fun and kind of in our color. Oh yes, remember this has the ABC stuff on it? Might be kind of fun to play with, huh?
I think we need to do more of a page. That's a
just
a
little
detail.
Detail.
I think that's a fuss around when you don't have anything else to do on a rainy day.
These darn stick things just keep showing up places.
Well, they're...
Okay, look, here, we got a page here. Ooh, we got some things kind of...
Uh-oh.
Crumbling out. Oh, it's this burger. Yeah, we need to reinforce that thing.
Yeah, you do, because that's a lovely color.
Yeah, the corners.
You don't need to lose that. And I don't know how you're going to do that.
Sticks, lady. Your sticks.
They're wonderful, and you shouldn't be.
Alright, I like this page. I think we're going to work on this. And we might even be able to... We've got to back this. That's what's happening. See?
Oh. Okay.
So we're going to lose the music on that side, but I think that...
Well, if we
if
we use tissue, or what about...
Why don't I just go ahead and use this thing? And then that's really nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Just get her done on that one.
Well, I was going to say this, what you call this paper, and some of it might show through.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Because this is very, it's sturdy. It's sturdier than the tissue.
Yeah, but I'd like to spray it.
Okay. I think you can. I don't know. I'm assuming that the non-switch side will accept spray.
Okay, well, let's...
And I think that would be more...
yeah, because then we're honoring that we can still see this...
some of the sheet music, yeah.
Alright, we're spraying the non-waxed side because it is waxed one side. They only waxed on once. It's funny.
Uh-oh.
What-oh? Okay, I gotta turn the air off. We're working with tissue and things. Oh. Okay. What are you reading? What are you uh-ohing? And what are you saying?
Well, I lost it there for a minute and I refreshed. So then I have to go back and, do a whole bunch of other stuff. Hello, Terry. Yeah, everybody gives a thumbs up. We've got 42 thumbs.
Wonderful.
And I don't know that, okay, and later, Terry, I don't know if you saw it, but we're spraying deli paper with, well, spraying is, that's one of the reasons I hate that stuff. I just end up using pouring it out somewhere and getting too much. And
yeah, see, this little sprayers.
That sort of thing.
It's given all that it had to give. It says no more. Come back later.
Oh, you got some kind of
it's
goopy, gunky.
Yeah, and I would tell you that, this is, suede glimmer mist, but that ain't true. This is some weird mix that we made.
The Widster says your hair is adorable.
Thank you.
Thanks you very much. Hello, Christine. And Winster. Who's Widster? Do you have a name?
I can't remember.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, she's been here before. But I don't have her on the list, I don't think.
I know.
Yeah.
Sprays just don't work for me. It's not my style.
Well.
That's just way too, fiddly.
Fiddly.
I'm more of a, give me a big brush. Or, a car washing sponge. I'm not into those little sponges either.
I like these.
That's a good color, by the way.
Yeah, it really is.
It's doing well. It's not beating up. I was concerned about that.
Well, and it's nice because it's mixing in with what's already on my sponge, so I have some dark and light. And also depends on how much.
Oh yes, absolutely. Why use the same color all over?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do get I get a lot more exercise on my fingers than I need to with that spray bottle business.
Yeah. Poor Izzy's like, it hurts my little finger. Although it's a good reason for her not to use the spray.
Eddie says he finds spraying papers relaxing. That kind of makes me.
And I'm making more of this than I
And Terry says, wouldn't it be easier to just do it? Well, we could, but my gel plates are packed up, sweetie.
Yep. She's all packed up.
I'm all packed up and ready to go. There will be no more gel plating here. And you're absolutely right, and I thought about it.
I was like, oh, she's putting them in early. I thought we were going to be packing those bad boys like, the morning
Last
of.
minute. No, I really did want
this It smells weird. I don't know why it just, like, all of a sudden I caught the smell of it.
And yes, it would be a whole lot faster and easier to do that sort of thing on the gel plate. And I could do it. But like I said, I have empty shelves over here. I'm looking at them.
Feeling empty.
Feeling, slightly discombobulated.
Alrighty. Looky there. Gonna let that dry for a second. Do a little wipey uppy here. Otherwise everything will be brown.
Well, and if I were doing the spraying here, yes, it is an empty. Miriam says empty nest. feeling. Yeah, I feel like something's missing. Oh, well, that's...
Okay. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Now, this is going to be tricky.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Because you don't want it to... this is probably something that you're going to have to... You got room to flip it over?
When you do that, I'm going to put some washi there. I got to find good washi to do that with, though.
Here's this one. It works really good. It's very
Oh, that's
sticky.
nice. And it kind
of browny.
yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with the stickability of that one. All right, Carrie, you're excused. I know I'm gonna go eat something here in a minute, but also
I had toast.
I didn't get up in time to do all that kind of stuff.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better there. And see, another little piece is just starting to... So the thing about that vintage paper stuff is
Oh, yes, it is.
super fragile.
Oh, thank you, Carrie. I know that we're going to have a good time. It would be really cool if you were there, too. I don't know, all of those, I have a feeling that most of the people that we're going to be encountering there aren't of the measuring. Look how good that looks with that coming through. Oh, I love it.
Okay, so what do I want to do here? I kind of need to...
Oh, do you want my dick black acrylic? I'm telling you, this is what you need.
That's what I need.
And I'm going to find the perfect brush for you.
Okay.
Because it needs to be soft.
See, this is what I didn't have the day that, you know, you needed to sleep and everything. And I just used my little scraper thing because I was afraid that I was going to use the wrong brush.
No, I got you hooked up here, honey.
Okay.
Excuse me? I don't know what we're excusing him about.
Yeah, because you didn't, you paused before you went to the blickerick.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was looking for it. I turned around and you just didn't hear me because my voice was not aimed towards the microphone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I need my little thingy-majigger here.
Well, that thing comes in handy.
It really
for
does.
Something. It certainly doesn't work for cutting things.
No, I've used it quite a bit for this whole process of things. Okay.
And the reason I'm being kind of specific on the brush is because it needs to be stiff enough to move the stuff around, but soft enough that it's not leaving trails of stuff. You know how some brushes really are really stiff, and there's a place for those, but this ain't it.
Okay, I'm putting the sprayed, and so the waxy side is up. Because I think I'm getting more adhesion.
Yes. With the...
Yes, and then that'll help kind of protect it too. come back in and get these edges a little better.
Usually I find you have to do that with, you know, sometimes I'd use the glitter glue to do the edges because I have a hard time getting glue out to the edge. And that's particularly important because that's where the fragile lay.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
What you need?
Well, I thought I had one here, but I do. It also scares me wherever I put that. There we go. Do it over there? No, okay. No, just.
And I think even just leaving that ruffled edge hanging out there is okay.
I'm a little worried though, because look, it's not really.
It's not sticking?
It's not really a. Yeah. I mean, it sort of did up there.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah. Well, you may have to do the old pen pokey. Stick the little nozzle in there and give it a squeeze. And Trisha's going to lunch. Yeah, the fact that stuff dries really, really quick is also what makes it really...
That's, yeah, tricky.
And it could also be that old paper is absorbing the moisture from the glue.
I think it might have, yeah, like really just sucked it in. So where I got real heavy, it was sticking, or it is sticking. And then where I went light, it just went into the paper and said, thank you. I'll take that. Well, let's see how that kind of plays out.
Now this is where you can work on a piece that you pulled out of your thing while that's drying.
And then this, you know, tape that doesn't stick. Okay.
Okay, let me have that paintbrush, please.
Okay. Alright, I don't want y'all yelling at me about my pen.
Oh, pages of an art journal. Good morning.
Hey, Christina.
Good morning. Trisha's leaving and Pages is coming in.
Alright. Got people coming and going.
Well, it's always good. You know, keeps things interesting.
That's right. Do give the thumbsy upsies.
Yes.
And anyone else that has forgotten, please do.
Yeah. Trish, did you do that before you left? Get back on there.
I'm sure Trish did.
Thumbsies upsies.
She probably did hers early.
Yeah. Some people do.
Mm-hmm.
I better give a thumbsy upsies.
That'd be...
Oh, we're up to 55, Mariah.
Wonderful. Okay, so what do we want to do here? Do I want to cover up the washi? I can do it with, you know, this business.
I think, I don't know. I don't really mind that washi there because it kind of matches that brown on the other, you know, the opposing page.
Yeah, I do not mind it.
And you glued it down so we know that it's good to go.
Mm-hmm. I've just been taking everything out and then I put it over in the box and then we'll just disperse it back in. Later. Okay, well then what do we want to do here? Thoughts, ideas, feelings? You know, I got stuff left over from last time. Look at that. Got that. Got some of this.
Well, that's kind of nice. And turn that over because isn't some of that color on the other side of that page that you just glued down?
What do you mean?
That pink business.
I don't know why you say turn that over.
Well, the one that you just glued down, isn't there some pink color on the back side of the music?
Oh. turn
pinkish.
this over. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sort of peachy.
Orangey, yes.
Orangey.
Peachy.
Orangey peachy.
Oh, look, even from the little bit of moisture there, the vellum, because it's kind of coming through the paper.
Oh, I see that. Oopsie.
But that looks, I mean, that went really well with, see, from the back to the front. You can see the little edge there. I'm just going to leave that because I think that'll help hold those edges together.
Yeah.
And we'll do some things on here once this is all dry, but I've got to let that get dry. It's not far from it. I still just think it's really interesting that it's just like, I mean, where I added a ton more, it finally sucked it in. It needed a lot of...
I love the vintage vibe of this, Brooke. I know, I do too. And Lori Paul says, I like the washi showing.
Okay. Oh, wait, I mean,
And Paige just says, is this a new journal you are making? No, and you need to go back and I mean, I'm working on this. Is from Akiko.
Yeah.
She sent it to Mariah.
So, a lot like how I was working in the book that Julie Torrance had sent, Akiko sent me one. And she sent one to P. Because she didn't want her to feel left out.
I know.
Because I got mine first.
I'm still working in it. Because I just keep coming up with ideas.
I know, you thought you were done. She really wasn't done.
Star Traveler. It looks great.
Okay.
Joan Miron. Delayed in joining. Hi to all. Hi, Joan.
Hey, Joan. What do we think of that?
I think that's splendid.
I even like, because you can see the writing through. What do you think of that? Or we like the thing showing. But like kind of right up to the edge there, like that?
I think so, definitely.
Okay. Well,
Oh, you still need, let me take care of your, I stuck it in water immediately.
yeah, because that stuff dries very quickly. Hello, Michelle.
And I have discovered that if you do let the glue dry on your brush, you can soak it in Murphy's for 2 or 3 days, and most of it will come out. You might have to give it a bit of a stiff toothbrush. Yeah. Oh, Silver Granny Lynn wants to know if we're doing a travels journal for our trip. Well, I guess you could call the thing that I'm taking all my pieces and parts, and it will be constructed on site. Yeah, on site. Oh, Michelle's here too.
I said hello to Michelle.
Okay.
I think actually I'm going to put this piece up in there because I think that shows
Yeah,
more
you
of
can
the writing.
use a little extra of that glue, and it doesn't hurt anything. I'm so happy you're using that print because, you know, a lot of my tissue paper prints just...
You sit over there, or you know, look at them.
And I like how the outline of the flowers is really in the same family as the washi tape, and it has a bit of a yellow cast to it. Or at least it does when I'm looking at here on the monitor.
Yeah.
I need to look over there and see. Yeah. It's kind of a taupey.
Taupey, you know? It's friends with Toby.
And Eddie says that looks like a vintage piece of fabric. Kind of does, doesn't it? You know, like an old circle skirt. from the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Or a really fancy, you know, ball gowny thing.
Ball gowny thing.
From the 30s and 40s.
Well, I think that
Not that I was around then, but, you know, I've seen pictures. Okay. Yes, I love that color. And you know how you get that color? You use Amsterdam. Just a minute and I'll tell you. Vermilion Standard Series with a tad of white. And that's how you get that peachy color. Isn't that great? I mean, that was not a... And if you wanted to make it a little dirtier, you could just, you know, throw in a touch of green. Or just use black. I don't usually like that, but...
No.
I don't know why you think you need to do that. I thought that other piece just out there just floating was fine.
I like the blue on there, and I wanted to kind of, you know.
You're leaving the top alone, though.
Oh, sure. We'll go with that right now.
I like seeing the color of the page.
Okay. I was just I got some of these little pieces. I was gonna, you know, toss them in.
Are you getting good adhesion?
I think so. I mean, it kind of bubbles up. It's pretty weird. This vintage paper and dyed papers are there's definitely a learning curve to them.
Okay. Michelle says my daughter would wear a skirt like that. Or Izzy would too, but she'd probably want sequins or something on it.
Probably.
That print would be wonderful as a Hawaiian shirt. Miriam wants to know how you could make that print dirtier, Eddie. I don't know that he has an answer to that question. We'll see. I'm sure I'll have something to say. Okay, Susan said, I have a question. Some of you saw my easel covers, aka gun covers, and then she has a laughy face.
Oh, yeah. I thought they were gun covers too.
I have leftover substrate that I want to make journal covers. Oh, well, there you go. Now, what are you doing here?
I don't know. I'm trying to, you know, figure out how I want to.
Well, you're not going to cover up all that stuff over on that page.
No, I'm going to, you know, tear out areas so you see these things.
Well, you could make a corner pocket there. You know, a slanty corner pocket.
All right.
Yeah, hand me that. I'll put it in the water.
I think I want it to be. Oh, I really love that. But I think the pocket should come in.
Yes, it should.
Or, like, you know,
from the outside
here.
edge into the middle.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the angle of the dangle of the writing.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all have a bit of a wet your pants situation there?
It'll be all right.
It'll be all right, she says.
You're in good hands.
Okay, I think the polyester on the back side will glue with fabric glue, and suggestion on how to use embellishments on the front, the vinyl side. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about vinyl stuff. What sticks to that? You're probably going to have to get some heavy duty, you know, what do you call it? Solvent adhesive.
Here, I'm going to do a pocket somewhat piece style.
Ah,
Ah.
that isn't how I do that.
Well, you like to fold them in and do things. I don't really.
Oh, you could do that. Embossing on that material and see what happens. On the vinyl stuff.
I don't know if it's going to hold it.
document. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I have something. Ooh, okay, I can take that off.
Are you going to fold the bottom part?
Just remember that that's where that went. Oh, I think I dropped a little piece of it. Eeks. Okay.
E6000 glue vinyl. Yes, I used to use that to glue down all kinds of things. And it is a solvent based. It smells bad. And that might be what we need to use on fixing the book. My book.
Well, that's kind of what that Fabri-Tac stuff is, you know.
You know, you could have bended that bottom one over too.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to do that.
Of course you didn't.
It doesn't fit my plan. Shooby-dooby-doo-doo-doo. I love you.
Oh, the permanent vinyl. I don't know about that stuff, Susan. So you're going to wait to fluffy up the edge until you get that on there?
Fluffy up the edge. I don't.
You're going to color the edge of your tear.
Yes.
Well, you have to be careful when you're gluing because sometimes when you glue it doesn't.
It doesn't take. That is correct. Look at you learning things and knowing things.
Yeah, well, the way I glue, we have a lot of that situation.
I know. I'm a different kind of gluer.
Susan says she does a lot of Cricut vinyl. We do it to stick Izzy's name on her.
I do it once a year. Well, actually, sometimes I gotta re-up because she's a picker.
She's a picker.
She's a picker.
She picks off letters.
But I'll tell you, they actually hold up in the dishwasher pretty decently. You know?
Sewing is always an option if you have a sewing machine. Now, Lydia says she uses Crafter's Pick the Ultimate. There's a lot of things here that I don't know about.
This is kind of dangerous.
Gorilla Glue makes an instant glue that works in all kinds of things. Yeah, that might be something to think about on our...
Be careful with that foamy stuff, though.
Oh, yeah, it squishes out, and it's a really ugly color.
Yeah, it's kind of browny.
Non-toxic water-based super glue adheres to metal, plastics, glass, and more. Well, there you go. Anthony uses instant glue for his woodworking to fill in gaps and bind inlay materials. Well, who knew? I know, now I need it. Me too. Gorilla Tape? Get out of here. She uses it to keep her freezer door shut. I'm assuming that's shut, not shot. I tried sticky Velcro for a closure and they didn't work. Anthony Cody said he's never heard of water-based super glue. I know, me either. Oh, the instant glue is a gel and comes in a small bottle with a fine tip. Well, hoop-de-doo.
She's interested.
Yeah. And see, I steer away from, because the way I glue, super glue is not my friend.
Y'all saw it. Most of y'all.
Because, you know, I'm one of those, you put enough on to squish it out, and then when you try to wipe up the super glue, you get whatever it was that you used to wipe stuck to the super glue, and it's really a holy
sugar business.
Sugar manoli business of, you know, fuzzy stuff stuck to super glue. Miriam says, I'm gluing paper on a plastic surface and I use Elmer's glue. Good old Elmer's. Oh, and Anthony says CA glue comes in 3 viscosities. Wow. Thin, medium, and thick. I can't believe you're not putting some underneath that. I guess if you get a little on there, it's not going to be like a...
Normally I do, but see, it's kind of puffing up because of that little rolled edge there, so there's that.
And Eddie says, I've been gluing painted tissue to an old plastic container with gel medium. Oh yeah, I do that. Remember, I covered my, what do you call that stuff that you use on? Because that one container that I covered was plastic, and it was really interesting because it was from the brown liquid stuff that you pour on Asian food. What do you call that? Soy sauce. Okay, soy sauce container, and I hadn't washed the inside quite well enough, so my inside's kind of brown from the. Hey, but it didn't interfere with the whole end of things, you know.
What are you talking about now?
We're talking about gluing to plastic. And Emmy says Elmer's is not flexible when dry. That is true.
That's true.
It sets up pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
And Griffin Shell, there's a gazillion types of glue out there. You absolutely, I am beginning to see that. You can clean up your messes with a wet cloth. Well, yes, you can, but I don't have that available, so I just use these baby wipe things, and they're fibrous. You don't really understand that until, you know...
You're stuck to one.
Yeah, until you've got a whole bunch of... Did you get that little bit at the very top there? There's still a little white showing.
Oh, that's from under here. See, that's why I don't like doing this fold business, but we'll get that taken care of. Don't you worry.
Oh... Yes, paper mache doesn't matter for the flexibility. And that's what I actually, that's what I actually used to do my box project.
Yeah.
And then he uses epoxy resin to fill larger cracks and void. And then you can add color as well, yeah.
Now, my little paper tore over here.
Could have been fish sauce. Hey, I like fish sauce. I like fish sauce too. My mother used to call my sister before she went to her house because she lived like right across the road. She used to say, "Are you using any of that stinky stuff? I'm not coming over if you are." She was talking about fish sauce. As my sister loved it. She used it on everything. Well, that's some fiddly stuff there.
Well, I mean, there was a tear in the paper, mending.
She's mending. Maxine says, this glue conversation is very interesting to her because she has a plastic container from her Cherry's husband bought me that I want to collage. So this is very instructive.
Good.
So this is a place you want to get instructed on a whole lot of things. Not just, we deal with life issues here.
Come back Thursday for that. Maxine knows
Susan said she's going to have to clean her screen because she had water in her mouth, spit it all over her. And Anthony's filling cracks and voids. Yeah.
We need those kind of people in our life.
We do. The world needs them. Susan says you guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you. I know, and you know, see, where else can you go to get crafty info and, you know, philosophical statements about life?
Mixed in with some inappropriate things as well.
Well, life is sometimes inappropriate.
No doubt.
Izzy wants to know when she can say, you know, some of the bad words. And I've given her specific situations when it would be, you're not going to cover up that wonderful edge down there, are you? That big gold blob?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, I was going to be on your case like a
yeah.
duck on a Junie bug.
Huh.
Glue sticks us together. And he says, I love it. Yeah, and you just can't, you know, the same kind of adhesion properties doesn't always work for everything, so you got to have different stuff for different occasions.
Word.
When you hit your finger with a hammer. Oh, wow, yeah. And Evie says, I've never used fish sauce. Well, sweetheart, you need to get some. I mean, I make this Asian salad dressing that would
That is true. I don't mind it when it's mixed in with things. I don't need it, like, directly on things in its only form.
Oh, I know. When we were in Seattle, we went to an Asian grocery store, and I mean, I was just...
Yeah, we were
there for hours, literally hours. And Mariah finally said, I'm hungry, I need to go.
Yeah, we need to go eat some food.
And Eddie took his message away. I have so many kinds of glue. Every time someone that uses one I don't have, I have to buy it.
Yeah, a glue connoisseur.
Yeah, I've got quite a few kinds, but Star Traveler says glue can get messy for me sometimes. Bless your heart. We are in the same club. Ponzu is really good. Yes, I like that. I prefer fish sauce when it's cooked in something. Now I just like to go over and just, you know, turn it upside down on my finger and lick it off. I don't think it's meant for dipping. Oh, but it is, because when I make this sauce, all right, so this is the sauce you use on spring rolls.
Can we just ooh and ah this for a moment?
Oh, okay, yes, can we ooh? Oh my God, it leads right up. Oh, Mariah, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I am so proud of you. That is perfect.
I do love it.
Now, do you have something to stick in there?
We got a whole thing of things to... That's a whole other time. Because we got to wait for some of the stuff to... this still needs to dry.
It looks so good with that page behind it.
Yeah, and this looks like, there's something that...
I mean, you know?
It anchored it.
It really, really did.
And we covered up one of the three little things, but, you know, that was just going to have to happen. But I do love it. Now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to call it a little early, because I've got to get down there and help Brad finish out these orders, because we have quite the stack up from this weekend. So I don't want to leave him.
I have to weigh my suitcase and see how much more jewelry I can put in before I'm overweight.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God they're not weighing me. You know, when they're kicking people off the flight, I want to say, okay, some of those fat people need to go. And I think, oh, well, I might be one of those.
Yeah.
Careful about that one.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Do you think that they kind of take some of that, like, in consideration? I mean, they're not going to say it, but...
Well, hopefully they are. It would be an intelligent thing to do if they're talking about
but
luggage.
But it doesn't really matter, because you only have a certain number of seats, so...
Oh, Susan wants to know, can you share your recipe in Makers? I will do my very best. I don't know that I'll get that done before we go on our journey.
She will give you a list of ingredients.
Yeah, and
how you mix them is up to you. She'll give you maybe, I put a little of this and then a little of this, and then you want to taste it. And then, adjust accordingly.
It involves ginger, lime, cilantro, and fish sauce. And you just put those in the... And my sister does it. She has a metote grinder, Mexican grinder, made out of volcanic, where it grinds things up.
Okay.
She's a mistress chef.
Wonderful.
All right. I'm sure that you can. Thank you, Anthony. I'm hoping to have fun, and I will let you know.
Yeah, and we will try to, now I know Xandra and Patty are both going to do little pop-up kind of streams. We are going to attempt one. We will see how that goes, because it will be on the phone. So it's not going to be like a long one. It might just be kind of, here's some stuff that we're doing. Here's some stuff that maybe everybody else is working on. That sort of thing.
Yes, and feel free to watch old videos while P&M are on their retreat. Bless your heart. Thank you for saying that. And we are going to have, thank you, Anne. And thank you,
Ann,
Colleen. Oh, I know. Well, Dana, we'll take pictures, and we will share our pictures.
Oh, yeah, and I'll try to post some of that stuff on Instagram and whatnot. And maybe in the community page here. Because I know some of you guys aren't on Facebook or Instagram. You just do YouTube. So I'll try to do that. Okay, cool. We will be back, you know, like I said, maybe a little pop-up thing. But otherwise, we will be back to our regular scheduled business 1 week from today.
Yeah, don't forget the like button before you leave.
Yeah, so... All right, guys. Thanks for hanging. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.